Health and fitness tech. It always sounds great, very promising, but with so many options out there, it can be hard to sort between the gimmicks and the actual life-changing products. I personally enjoy testing health tech, and after testing literally hundreds of fitness trackers, as well as glucose monitors, smart mattresses, even like sweat trackers, basically everything I could possibly find in health tech over the past several years, I boiled down the essential health tech into 3 main categories. And in this video, I want to share with you my 12 favorite health and fitness products that help me personally to feel great, to work longer days than usual, to avoid caffeine, and just in general to live a better life. So my goal is to hopefully introduce you to at least one product in this video that could potentially do the same for you. And the 3 categories I broke them into are workouts, which is going to obviously either help you work out, track your workouts, or just in other ways enable you to work out in different environments. The second one is circadian rhythm, the overall sleep pattern, waking up, feeling more alert, things like that. I'll explain circadian rhythm when we get to it, and protection/recovery, things that can help you avoid injuries in the long term. So starting off with category number 1, I have one tracker and a couple devices that really help me to work out. Starting off with the first tracker, I have a lot of health and fitness trackers, and so, I mean, out of all of them, the one that I always go back to for tracking any kind of workouts, indoor, outdoor, whatever, is this one right here, the Garmin Epix Pro Gen 2. It's a little bit more expensive than other devices on the market, but if you are training for anything, you can look at a lot of elite athletes are using this exact watch, as well as anybody else who enjoys some weekend getaways. Maybe you like paddling, maybe you like backpacking, maybe you just want to do a little bit of everything or a lot of one thing. This watch gamifies it. It gives you very accurate analytics, and overall, in my opinion, it's just kind of almost uncontested. There's not a lot out there that does what this does. So it does have an incredibly accurate heart rate, great GPS, dual band GPS as well. So even in crowded places in big cities and stuff like that, it is very, very accurate. It has sleep tracking with a lot of insights in there, has an ECG, a body battery, and a lot of other training-centric metrics that help you kind of long-term, not just like an Apple Watch, which, all right, you stood enough hours, it closes a ring, or you walked enough, it closes a ring. This instead has long-term things like your endurance score, your hill score, your heat acclimation index, an estimated 5K time, an estimated half marathon time, different training plans, VO2 max, and one that I personally think is probably the most fun is your fitness age. Now, I don't know how much that actually means in real life, but it's kind of a fun way to gamify your workouts. Like the more you work out, the more you lose weight, the more you are optimally fit. It essentially says, all right, you might be 27, 28 years old, whatever right now, but your fitness is equivalent to like a 25-year-old or a 24-year-old. And the more you work out, the younger you become in a way, which is kind of like a very positive feedback, in my opinion, that this watch does. In addition, the app gives you a lot of insights on the computer and on your phone. So that's the Garmin Epix Pro Gen 2. I could go on and on about this, how it works as a smartwatch with like weather and notifications, how it works for a backcountry with the long battery life and the built-in flashlight, how it works for training, but in general, it's my favorite device. Like, I love talking about that. But like I said, that's the main device I use for tracking almost all of my workouts. Talking about some other devices I use specifically for the workouts, some actual health tech here. I'm not a big Peloton guy. I mean, personally, I think they're very expensive, and if you have one, people do love them. They are really, really fun. But what I have in my house, which kind of works in the same capacity, is actually a rowing machine. So this rowing machine folds up very compact. I can put it against the wall, and it's basically like not taking up any space at all. And then you can fold it out. You have a full-blown rowing machine that gives you a nice full-body workout. You can have a tablet up there to either follow along with workouts or just like watch a video or something. I find it's great if I don't feel like lifting, or if it's raining outside, I don't want to run, and I just want to hang out and like watch Netflix and get a casual workout. You can do that, or you can really push yourself and get a serious workout here, which is why I think a lot of people would probably benefit from a rowing machine like this one. There's a big variety out there as well. This one in particular, the company sent it to me like a long time ago. I wish it had more resistance. I probably wouldn't buy this exact model, but regardless, a water rowing machine, or just, there's electrical resistance ones as well, magnetic resistant ones, they do a good job as well. So this is something that I think is pretty good. But besides this device right here, I'm not really like a big fan of of expensive workout equipment. I think you can do a lot of really great workouts, either for free or just with basically no equipment at all. Like running's free, yoga's free, lifting. Like there's a lot of outdoor gyms you could use that you can work with. But another thing that I do think is really beneficial, specifically for anyone who's coming off an injury, looking to get into cycling, or maybe you're into cycling, but you're just not like fast yet. Maybe you want to go further and faster. An e-bike is actually a really great device for working out. People don't think of it as one, but it actually really can be if you get the right kind. So the one that I've been a big fan of is the 10 Ways e-bike, but you can look for any e-bike out there that has a torque sensor. That's very important that it is a torque sensor. E-bikes typically work in two ways. You have torque sensors and cadence sensors. Cadence sensors are the cheaper ones. In general, it says if you start pedaling the bike, like as soon as you start pedaling, even a little bit, the motor takes over and you're just going for a ride and basically pretending to pedal. A torque sensor just says, all right, how hard are you pedaling? And then it amplifies your pedaling with the motor. So you pedal like a normal person and you feel like you're Lance Armstrong just crushing the hills and going a lot faster. But at the end, you are still pedaling and it does give you a pretty solid workout here. Now, by the way, a lot of health tech I'm talking about in this video, I will have linked down below. I recommend checking out any sales, and some of these things may also be HSA eligible. So if you have a health savings account, I know that's something in the US, maybe other countries have it as well, then you could potentially use the money coming out of your paycheck before taxes and use that to buy some cool health tech like the ring I'm going to talk about in a minute, or some of the other devices that we mentioned throughout this video. Also, it's important to remember that even though tech can gamify a lot of these workouts and give you more data, make it more interesting, they don't necessarily make it easier. Like workouts are supposed to be hard. You're supposed to push yourself. So I recommend making a goal that inspires you, and if you need to, maybe even hire a coach. Maybe that's the best health tech you could possibly invest in, would be a coach. Now, category number 2, this is circadian rhythm. This is something that I have been a huge fan of since I worked as an engineer at a company called Lutron, which literally works in circadian rhythm stuff. Like we designed systems for lighting within a home, as well as like roller shades and a lot of different things that would overall help you to feel the way humans are kind of naturally would feel in nature, right? So outside of the confines of like a brick house where it's dark in there, it's kind of stuffy, maybe there's like street lights. It's really important that it's dark at night, it's bright in the day, you have good airflow, the temperatures change and stuff like that. So of this, I have quite a few things. A lot of these are not expensive at all. The first one is a smart thermostat. There are a lot of options out there. They generally don't have to be that expensive. Just something that can change your temperature in your house throughout your day. It also saves you money as well. It's pretty nice to have this, but it's important that it does get a little bit colder in the evening and a little bit warmer when you wake up. Some people instead like to have an 8-sleep mattress. I liked it when I got the 8-sleep mattress, but I've kind of grown less fond of it. I find that changing temperatures of my mattress while I sleep doesn't help my sleep as much as changing the air temperature, which happens to be a lot easier to do. So smart thermostat, in my opinion, works better than an 8-sleep. Now, that's probably not an opinion you're going to hear often because 8-sleep does have a very big affiliate program. So like people get a huge commission for promoting 8-sleep. It is a great mattress. There's a lot to like about it. But for me, I would say I like saving the money and just getting a thermostat. It works better for me. Also, regarding lighting, this one is expensive. I don't have an affiliate for this one, but this is just one that like I worked on the projects with this, and these are the Lutron Serena shades. You can find any automated roller shades. The Lutron ones, in my opinion, are far and away the best. They're way quieter. The battery lasts, like I put like regular batteries, not rechargeable batteries in this about 3 years ago, and it still works every single day. So you can see they do a good job with their power management. And it's super quiet. I just have it open in the morning. I have it closed in the evening before I go to bed. So it's very dark at night and I wake up to natural light in the morning. Now for daily health tracking and non-GPS workout tracking, you may hear a lot of celebrities talk about smart rings, even like, Aura. You've seen like Samsung mention that they might be coming out one soon. It's really a big trend right now. And my personal favorite so far is this one right here, the Ultra Human Air. Now, you might wonder why, hey, maybe some other ones are lighter or more accurate. Wow, that was really on there. Other ones might be lighter or more accurate, but this one actually has some really cool peripheral accessories that kind of combine in the app to do a lot. So you have the Ultra Human Ring right here. This is the Ring Air. It has a heart rate sensor, body temperature, blood oxygen, an accelerometer. It gives you a sleep score, sleep movement insights. It gives you other things like stress rhythm and breath work, your cardio age, shift work. That's a really cool thing depending on when you're working. If you miss some sleep, this can kind of adapt for that. You have stimulant planning, which is really cool. If you do drink caffeine, it'll tell you like, hey, maybe you should wait a couple hours after you wake up in the morning for what's called the adenosine clearance window. After that, your day is going to be much better if you drink coffee after those 2 hours. And they give you a ton of other things like morning alertness indicators, dynamic recovery score, locate my ring, which is actually a really cool feature. If you lose it, it uses the Bluetooth strength from your phone to identify approximately how far you are from your ring, which is what I literally used a week ago when I thought I lost this forever. And that's the ring. The ring overall does a lot. I like it. But the other things I think that are really cool that you can get from Ultrahuman that pair within the app, one of them is the M1, the glucose monitor. This is actually made by Abbott. I actually have one right here. So it's the Abbott Freestyle Libre 3, and this is great. So it can track your blood sugar throughout the day. If you eat certain foods, that might give you more of a 2 o'clock slump, for example. And depending on what you eat, if you manage your glucose levels within a certain range, you can really avoid crashing. Obviously, gaining weight would be a big thing that you'd be watching out for. And you could potentially have an early indication of any metabolic health problems that you might have. And metabolic health, I think, is becoming more and more popular now. Of course, I am not a doctor, but if you read a lot of books like Dr. Peter Attia talked a lot about this in his recent book, a lot of people are focusing more on metabolic health and its effect on day-to-day life, as well as longevity and things like that. Now, Ultrahuman does also have an air monitor that they're coming out with. It can detect like ambient light, ambient sound, I believe, and it can detect like a lot of air quality things like CO2, humidity, temperature, your volatile organics, things like that. I actually don't have that, at least not yet. I think it's a really cool product, and it would be nice to have all of those insights combined into the same app. I have a different, probably cheaper air quality monitor that I'll mention in a second. But if you don't want to go the route of Ultrahuman with the Ring and the CGM, another great option is the Whoop 4.0, a strap that like so many tech creators wear, a lot of health influencers wear, a lot of celebrities wear, and I wore for a really long time. I kind of alternate between the Whoop and the Garmin, to be honest. I think the Whoop is great if you're not doing a lot of GPS stuff. Recently, I've been doing a lot of hiking, cycling, running, and a lot of outdoor things that do require GPS, which is why I like this. But if I am just lifting or doing, like in the winter, for example, when I'm not doing a lot of GPS tracked stuff, the Whoop is pretty fantastic. It tracks your sleep very accurately. It lasts a long time. You can wear it on your wrist and basically not even know it's there. It's incredibly lightweight. And you have some cool things like AI, like an AI chatbot in there where you can ask it questions about your own health and it can give you more insights. Like you could say, all right, last night, my heart rate variability was like 85. Is that, like, how does that compare to other people my age? Is that good? What does it mean? And it gives you a lot of insights that make it easier to understand. So that's what I think Whoop does very well. Now, I have one more product in this category of Circadian Rhythm here, and this is actually sleep earbuds. Some people don't sleep well, they compromise their sleep, and this is a huge thing that can impact your mood, your longevity, your weight. Basically, everything is impacted by your sleep. And if you're staying awake because there's a lot of loud sounds, whether your neighbor has a crying baby, whether you live near a train station, as I did for a really long time, sleep earbuds are just little tiny earbuds. You can sleep on your side. You don't even know they're in there. I just made a video about the Soundcore Sleep A20, and it just plays white noise or like any sound you want. It could be just like ASMR from your phone. It could be music. It could be like rain sounds, and it just masks sound around you to help you sleep and kind of eliminate distractions. All right, so we talked about workouts. We talked about circadian rhythm. I'm a big nerd about that. You might not be, but maybe like one or two of those products could potentially be interesting to you. The third one, general protection and recovery, just in general, like making sure that you don't get injured, that you can recover as well as possible, that you don't have any kind of like pollutants in your air or whatever that could potentially impact you negatively. And the most interesting one here, the first one I want to talk about is an air quality meter. Now, I know you might say like, oh, well, he's going to talk about pollution. Like, I'm not worried about pollution. That's fine if you're not. But one thing that I think a lot of people don't pay attention to, which you can have it really has a huge impact on your focus throughout the day. You can get a lot of brain fog if this metric is wrong. and this is your CO2 levels. So in your house, because you don't have a lot of ventilation, you have some ventilation in a house. If you have a smaller room, and either just you or maybe another person in the room, your CO2 levels can very rapidly go above a good threshold. And even though you won't really like notice it, like you'll be fine. It's not gonna like kill you. It's not gonna hurt you necessarily, but you will be less sharp. You'll be less focused. And so this alone, I think, is why you look at a lot of CEOs, they always have a CO2 monitor in their office. If it gets above like 900, you just open a window, get a little more airflow, and your room's better. In addition, the air quality meter that I have does measure some pollutants like volatile organics or PM 2.5. You can get like an air purifier that'll fix that one, as well as like temperature, humidity, that just comes along with it. An air purifier, as I said, could be another cool health tech item if you have allergies and you want to kind of filter out the air from like pet dander or pollen, whatever. That's pretty good. Another cool health tech thing, this one's not really tech. This is just something that I think everybody should have. Most people do not have. I love going to concerts, and I wear a pair of Vibes earplugs at concerts. There's a lot of other ones on Amazon. The Vibes are what I think are like the most subtle, the most comfortable, and they do a really good job. And lastly, the last product in here, this is one I think is just, if you don't have it, you're really just missing out. This is probably like the most fun to use. And this is a heated massage gun. So you're sore after a bike ride or a long run, just like having a heated massage gun to loosen your muscles, and it feels good. It's something that Theragun is the brand name, but I wouldn't pay name brand price. They're all kind of the same. You can find them on Amazon for like 20, 30 bucks. This one I think is like $100. It's heated, so it kind of has some cool extra features on there. But in general, moving forward, what kind of health tech do I want to try next? I would love to have a sauna and an ice bath. Those are very popular. I've used both of them. And I think that like, if you want to buy one, check out my friend Shervin's channel. He talks about them all the time, and he has a ton. So I have to go visit him and try those sometime soon. But otherwise, that's the health tech that I use on a daily basis that helps me a lot. But if you have anything else that helps you, that you really like in any capacity, helping you focus, helping you sleep, helping you, I don't know, like keep your water cold, I don't even care. Anything that you think helps your life improve for any reason related to health, let me know in the comments down below.